Good afternoon and welcome back to another episode of Conscious Dating Online. I'm your host, Francis Mahan. Today's conversation will be about dating after the pandemic. How prepared are you to try to go back outside into the real world after being isolated from the fact that you cannot communicate with someone one on one and you cannot have a conversation confronting that person in front of you unless you do it on a video or on the phone. How prepared are you to go out there and dare to communicate with the opposite sex? In the past, we have used the common knowledge to go to bars, to go to outdoors, parties, friends, families, and have the opportunity to meet someone. And at times, we have friends who set us up on a blind date with somebody they thought was the right person for us. It's a great idea, and I think sometimes it works. However, this time we have to be prepared to try to meet the opposite sex with more resilience and being strong enough to try to make the choices that will be good for ourselves. Why choices? It is important and imperative that we make the right choices, not because we have short time and not because things are different, but because we are wiser and we have gotten smarter at the fact that appreciating oneself is so important, which is what we have done during this pandemic. Hence, we are not able to communicate with people and be personally involved as we normally are in dating. It's giving us the opportunity to learn to know what we want, to make the right choices, and even to understand why any choices that we make may and may not have consequences. Although today we're still under the pandemic, it is very important to understand that if you don't know your partner very well, you are taking a chance and you do not want to do that with a stranger. I will not take a chance with someone that I don't know simply because I'm lonely. It's not worth it. And I believe that most people today have learned to live in isolation and live alone without having any dreadful experience. After all, we have to in order to stay safe. It is unfortunate that today the young generation is having to change their moral values in order to adjust to the new changes that are going on. Our society is moving at the speed of light. We are changing, things are different, the behavior, the choices, and social media has a great impact on the way that our youth behave today, whether we like it or not. The way that the young generation react when it comes to communication, connection, contact is more advanced than decades ago. In some aspect, they're having to devalue themselves in order to get attention from the opposite sex. By the way they dress, the way they approach each other, the things they say, it is a benefit to us adults that we don't have to do that anymore. And I feel really sad for the young generation because they're not seeing the true value of a human being. It is very sad that they have to change in order to fit in. They have to change the moral values and their beliefs in order to get attention. We do not, because we have choices and we know better. However, my question is, as the pandemic is over and you decide to go out and try to meet the opposite sex, how would you approach it? Would you be desperate? Would you try to take your time and be more resilient, make better choices? I think we all will, because we have learned a very valuable lesson during the pandemic, and it is that we matter, that whatever is out there, it will be even after the pandemic. So, how would you approach someone? Would you still communicate the same way, or would you be desperate, try to connect at an intimate level? Would you be so desperate to have that human communication that we have been deprived of because of the pandemic? Or will you simply take your time, be wise, and get what you're looking for? In making choices, we have to make sure that the partner that we choose or our opposite sex is exactly what we're looking for. It is possible to meet someone and to get that gut feeling that maybe he's the one, but at the same time, your intuition tells you something is not right about this person. This is when you have to learn to listen to your gut feelings and your intuition that speak to you louder than words. Because your intuition is never wrong. It always tells you what is. It tells you the truth about yourself, about others, about what choices to make, and how those choices may have a negative effect on you emotionally and hurt you, and also at a spiritual level because of your well being. My friends, I have learned during this pandemic how important it is to get to know your partner, how important it is for you to know what you want, and how important it is to make that choice when you are certain it is what you want. And when I say certain, doesn't mean you have to be 100% sure that, oh, this is the one, that's the person. But take your time to get to understand the individual, to get to know what is it that they're looking for. Are they comparable with you? Do you both have the same dreams and desires in that relationship to try to make it work? Because the choices that you make will have an everlasting impact in your relationship, in your partnership, in your communication, and in your marriage. Your choices will determine whether your marriage will last or not. Ask the expert. I do know. Sometimes we make choices based upon the wrong decisions. In relationship, you can make a choice based on the beauty of a woman, how attractive that person is. You can make a choice based about how sexually attractive you both are, how emotional you express yourself with this individual. Or you can make a choice based on attachment. Also, there is a possibility that you can make a choice based on dominating and controlling your partner. So make sure that the choices you make are clearly with your heart, that they coincide with what is you are looking for in your partner. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe to my channel, Conscious Dating Online. This is your host, Francis May. Love and light.